Hey, what's up? Pastor Aaron here, today with another Under 4 Minutes. Today we're talking about Christian baptism, its importance and its meaning. Let's get started. Okay, so Christian baptism, number one, it's important because it tells God's own story. Now, this is the big one. It tells God's story because remember, God's the main character of all of life, not us. God is. So let's talk about the story of God. God created a long time ago. Genesis 1, God, the Spirit of God hovers over the waters of chaos. From that, God produces this beautiful creation, ordered and lovely to be with us and to us to be with Him. Okay, a little while later, let's see, water. Moses is brought out of the water to his life later on to do all the Moses-y things. Then in Exodus, this is the real huge one too. God, with Moses, remember, brings the people of Israel out of physical slavery to Egypt, and they come to the Red Sea, the Reed Sea, depending on your translation. And God splits the water. They go through the waters to safety. Okay, let's see. In the book of Joshua, after wandering for 40 years, the people of Israel finally come to the promised land with the Jordan River. God again splits it. They go through to the promised land. Now, jump ahead to the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Here we have Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. This Jesus being baptized by John, okay, and saying, "Come with me." This tells God's story that through that we're coming to new life. The whole concept of creation and things is wrapped up in this event, and Jesus is bringing it all to fruition. That's what this means. Okay, we're doing so far good on time. Now, in the book of Hebrews, we read how Jesus is the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. He goes ahead of us. So you and I, as those who follow Him, we follow Him in baptism. We go through the waters of chaos, through the waters of death, to newness, new creation, new life. God again creates. As that first time, the Spirit of God hovers over the waters of chaos, which is our life, brings us out. To what? Well, that's the important part too. Remember, God set Israel free from physical bondage. Now, Jesus does that and more. Jesus sets us free from bondage to sin, death, and evil. And we hear Apostle Paul writing in the book of Romans, all of creation is set free as well. So it's set free to this newness that God always intended. We are set free from slavery to sin, death, and evil. Now, as such, check our time, good. Now, as such, we are brought into the family of God, the new family of God, built around Jesus Himself. It's not so much about us as individuals, it's about us as being the people of God. So as we're baptized, we're brought into that family. It shows our belonging in that family. Now, that's important here in North America, but imagine how important it is in, say, a Muslim majority country where it's not looked upon leaving, say, that faith. Now, if you are baptized out in a public stream, that is something. So just imagine that. So this is a belonging in a whole new family centered upon Jesus Himself, which then brings us to the last point. Yep, and we've got just a couple of minutes. You are brought into the mission of God. Jesus said, as the Father sent me, I'm sending you. So you and I, as baptized people, take the healing, loving voice of God, the kingdom of God, the healing of God in us to other people and around the world that needs it most. Well, you are an actor in God's play. You are a family member. You are a missionary. Take the gospel, the good news of Christ to healing to all the world. Thanks, and see you next time.